awards presentation, which Iota does every year to honor those people that have made outstanding achievements in the field of occultation science and to the work of Iota. Our first award is the Homer Dybal Award, and this is given to recognize significant contributions to occultation science and to the work of Iota. It's named after Homer F. Dybal, who was an organizer of grazing occultation expeditions in the Midwest United States beginning in the late 1960s. He was the one that coined the name International Occultation Timing Association, i.e. Iota, also known as I'm Out of Town a Lot. He's the founding officer of Iota. In 1975, he was the secretary-treasurer, and he was the first editor of the Occultation newsletter for 16 years from 1974 through 1990. Previous awardees receiving the Homer Dybal Award are listed here, beginning in 2007 with Dave Harold out of Australia. And last year, 2019, we gave it to the asteroid occultation coordinators worldwide. This year in 2020, we had 5 candidates nominated, each of whom was very, very all deserving of the award. And after discussions on the internet through email, we finally reached a consensus, the award committee, and we came up with the winner as, okay, Tony Berry from New South Wales, Australia. Tony's background is as follows. He became involved in observing occultations in 2009 after attending a presentation by Dave Galt. And that cost accurate timing device for timing occultations. And toward this goal, he developed 2 devices, the Iota video time inserter and the Sexta device, the Southern Exposure Timing Array. We all know what the Iota VTI is. We'd all be lost without it with our timings. And Sexta is used to calibrate and verify the accuracy of the timestamps. And I believe to date, this may not be an accurate number, over 300 Iota VTIs have been sold worldwide. Now, Tony emailed me this morning and said he was not able to be on the Zoom meeting because he had to work, but he sent this message thanking the board for his award. I'll just briefly mention that he developed Iota, VTI, and Sexta thanks to the help of Dave Galt. Walt Morgan and Sandy Bumgarmer came up with the original prototype of the VTI into production units, and Vince Sempronio continued the task of production as Iota needs. Dave Harold worked in the licensing details, so Iota can continue the work in the future. And he is also indebted to all the workers and people involved in these 2 devices to be an adjunct to the professional work by the scientific community. And this will all be posted on the Iota Minutes meeting page, probably by the end of next week. Our next award is the David Laird Award. This is the award that's given to honor those people who more than 15 years ago made significant contributions to the occultation science and to the work of Iota. It honors David E. Laird, who lived from 1931 to 1968. He was a physics teacher in Cincinnati, Ohio. He organized many grazing occultation expeditions in the Midwest USA beginning in the early 1960s. He published an article, Have Telescope Will Travel, in the October 1966 issue of Sky and Telescope. He also confirmed the existence of a giant impact basin on the lunar far side. And unfortunately, he suffered from leukemia and died at a very, very young age in 1968 at 37 years old. So this year's, the previous years, we've given the David Laird Award to the following people: Hal Povenmire out of the USA, Gordon Taylor, UK, Robert Bob Sandy in USA, Jean Meas in Belgium, Walt Morgan in the USA, and Jim Stam last year in the USA. And this year for 2020, the award goes to Daryl Nye. Daryl's history of Iota began in the 1960s when he helped organize and promote grazing occultation expeditions. To date, he has observed over 45 solar eclipses, many at the path edges, for Iota's Solar Radius Research long-term project. He married Denise Blum in 1973, and together they traveled to 90 plus countries and islands and observed 28 solar eclipses until her unexpected death in March of 2006, just 4 days before they were to leave for the total eclipse in Libya on March 29th, 2006. I spoke to Daryl a couple of days ago, and he reminded me on his own that he was the only person to observe an occultation with binoculars from a ship. And this was the 1989 November 22nd event of 15 Eunomia from the Amazon River, a record which is yet to be broken. And in April 23rd, 1998, he and Denise observed a rare simultaneous occultation by the moon of Venus and Jupiter from Ascension Island off the coast of Africa. So when the need arises, Daryl and Denise do whatever it takes to get the job done. In 2005, October 19, he timed an occultation of Regulus by 166 Rhodope from Portugal. I believe David Dunham also timed that occultation. In addition to his Iota activities, Daryl is a longtime member of the Association of Lunar and Planetary Observers and the International Amateur Professional Photoelectric Photometry Group. He's also the recipient of the 2010 Leslie Peltier Award from the USA-based Astronomical League. And asteroid 3685, Dur-Denai, has been named in honor for Daryl Denise Nye. It was discovered March 1st, 1981 at Siding Spring Observatory in New South Wales. I first met Daryl in 1992 when I traveled to see the January 1st, 1992 annular eclipse, which occurred entirely over the South Pacific. And only at the sunset portion of this eclipse did it touch the coast of California. Some of you might remember. So we observed the eclipse from the Truk Lagoon in the South Pacific, as indicated by this red dot over here. And we started out in this island of Moen, where we took a small boat and traveled some 22 miles, about 35 kilometers, to the small island at the bottom of the screen called Iota, marked by the X. Here's the island. It's a very small island, maybe 700-800 meters across. And we landed our boat at this dock over here in the upper right of the island. And then we all walked around the edge of the island over here in this area to observe the eclipse, which is at sunrise, just after sunrise. Because it was a sunrise eclipse, we left at 3 o'clock in the morning. And here's a picture of all of us in the group at the time of leaving. On the left, we have Glenn and Dot Rourke. In the center, Daryl and Denise Nye, Paul Maley, and myself with my hand on the guardrail. The trip to get to the island was actually quite exciting. Being totally in the dark, we did get lost for a short period of time, and 9 of us traveled in this boat. 6 of us eclipse observers and 3 assistants, drivers of the boat. 9 people in this boat. We went through rough seas, and Paul, you'll remember this, we had about 8 to 10 inches of water in the bottom of the boat by the time we got to the island. And because the salt water got in the boat, even with our bagging and our equipment, many of the equipment failed. My still camera failed, Daryl's video system failed, Paul's video system failed. So Daryl did have a case here which kept his still camera and telephoto lens intact, and he was able to take pictures of the eclipse. And this is one such picture of the eclipse that he took. And while he was taking pictures of annularity, Denise, in the red shirt here, was writing down times off of WWV radio signals. So it was quite an exciting eclipse in the way of getting there. And here's the group of us after the eclipse is over. And this is actually part of a video. You can't hear this, but Denise on the far right said, "Welcome to Gilligan's Island," because that's exactly what it looked like. Okay, our next award is the Iota's Lifetime Achievement Award. And this is to recognize those individuals whose a lifetime of outstanding vision, dedication, commitment with significant contributions to occultation science and the work of Iota. It's not given out every year. It's only given out as the Iota board deems necessary. Previous awardees of the Lifetime Achievement Award include David Dunham in 2013, Hans Bode in 2015, who we lost 2 years ago, and last year, 2019, Paul Maley. This year's Lifetime Achievement Award goes to Walt Rob Robinson out of Kansas City, Missouri. The background of Walt He joined Iota in 1988 and since has observed over 1,000 occultations. Quite an outstanding feat. He's provided occultation predictions for over 3 decades to observers worldwide. He created and maintained Iota's first website, lunaroccultations.com, in 1995. He's recovered hundreds of occultation timings, identifying previously unknown occultation stars. He distributes the occult software worldwide, in the early years by CD, and in later years by direct download off the lunaroccultation.com website. He created and maintains the Iota email discussion group, and he's also the co-author of the Occultation Observer's Handbook, co-authored with Hal Povenmire, which came out in 2006. Here's the book. In addition to Walt's occultation activities, he also serves on the Star Garden Foundation Board of Directors in Missouri, which promotes financial support for astronomy education and research. He was instrumental in the design and construction of their public observatory located in Warrensburg, Missouri. In 1998, he received the Helen Warkaszewski Award, Memorial Award, for the outstanding service to the astronomical community in the Kansas City area. In 2004, he received the Mid-States Regional Astronomer of the Year Award from the USA-based Astronomical League. And I will tell you, that is a very prestigious award. Walt's a regular contributor to the Astronomical League's Reflector newsletter and other amateur and professional journals. Now, Walt would be here to give a Zoom presentation accepting the award, but he had to have a doctor appointment, so he asked me to read this message. He writes, "I am highly yet humbly honored to receive this award. Over the past 30-some years, I've always looked forward in new ways of expanding Iota's reach, from probably the first Iota internet site, establishing the old Yahoo messaging site to the current iGroup format, and being able to provide David Harold with a means of distributing his occult software. I would like to thank Robert Sandy, who helped me along the way and kept my interest in occultation work. In the capacity of Vice President of Occultation Services, I've been able to do the same with others worldwide. I will continue to support the work of Iota in whatever capacity I can serve. Thank you very much. Sincerely, Walt Robinson." This is the final slide. This is what the awards look like. They're very, very pretty. And I will be mailing them out to the recipients next week. So that completes the awards presentation.
Are there any questions of Richard?
Yeah, we can have a virtual hand clap for the award winners and for an excellent presentation.
Okay, thank you.
There is much to say about these 3 outstanding people who have been awarded, and those of us who know them can tell some stories. All of them pleasant, and but I just want you to say that these are well deserved. Want you to know that. The next talk is